What is going on, everybody? Welcome back. Today we are going to talk about our top GAC offensive teams. We've got defensive phase going on right now. Offense is going to start very soon. We're going to talk about teams to use on offense, things that are being boosted by using datacrons, teams that have really good meta counters, things like that. We're going to break that all down in today's video. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure that like button and subscribe to the channel. And let's start by talking about Leia Organa. You know, a very typical team you use on offense these days. Very good for countering Ahsoka teams on defense. Really good just in general for offense, can beat a lot of Galactic Legends. Not really much that she struggles with on offense. Yeah, she counters pretty much everything. When she first came out, that was like the first nail in the coffin of Jedi Master Kenobi meta. And they've got that instant defeat immunity. They have the ability to ignore protection. She supercharges Captain Drogon, who's got an Omicron if you want to go for that. It's okay, Omicron, you don't have to get it. But yeah, she supercharges Drogon, and he just deletes someone off the map. Not much you need to say about this team at this point. Really good on offense. I thought it was going to be a good counter to Lord Vader, because I thought Lord Vader was going to be stronger on defense, and that did not age well. So just great on offense. Lord Vader's being the next team, and yeah, I thought he was going to be good on defense this season. And unfortunately, we've got issues with Mon Mothma and Bo-Katan just absolutely decimating him on defense, which CG has seen and has said that they will intervene, and they're going to do something to nerf those counters. So probably not a good team for defense right now. You're going to be saving Lord Vader and his clones for offense just to kind of keep them going. And we're going to do some testing this season or this week and see what we can do with this team. I don't think they're going to lose too much on offense. I know they can beat Ahsoka. They can beat Jedi Master Kenobi. I think Leia is going to give them the most trouble. They should be okay against Supreme Leader Kylo Ren. But I think they're going to beat most Galactic Legends on offense, like what we have with Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, which is down here. But then we've got Bad Batch, and Bad Batch is one of the newer teams, a raid team that you're building up. Probably one of the better non-Galactic Legend teams on offense. They are in the realm of Reva with Inquisitors on offense in 5v5. They can beat a couple different Galactic Legends, Jabba being among them. They're pretty good on offense. Terrible on defense, but really, really good. There's not many non-GL teams they won't beat. I think Gungans is about the only team they struggle to beat on offense. But yeah, just about anything else, this team is going to get you some wins against Galactic Legends. This team is going to beat pretty much anything else, can crush Malgus, can crush Queen Amidala. A nice Queen Amidala counter for 5v5 is always welcome, because that means you get to save Bane for something else. And then we get to Supreme Leader Kylo Ren and Rey Dark Side Vision. This is, I say others are optional. I've used this team as duo before against different teams. If you're fighting against like a Leia on defense, you may want to bring a couple more characters, but these two alone can take out a Jabba team on offense. They can beat up Jedi Master Kenobi, but you do want to bring more in at that point. Very good on offense. You can throw them on defense as well, but I like to save them for offense just a little bit more. Though I think I may start changing that around where I start throwing them on defense, because I'm going to be pulling Jedi Master Kenobi off defense here soon, because I know teams are going to, players in Erodium are going to have all these JMK counters on hand. And yeah, that's going to be the point where I start pulling him off defense and throwing him on offense. And I may replace that with Kylo Ren with Rey on defense with First Order. That's probably where I'm going to end up going. And then we get Bo-Katan. Bo-Katan just really good on offense. There's that weird bug with Ancestral Resolve and Dramatic Entrance that's causing her to just wipe out Lord Vader teams, which again, CG has said they were going to intervene, and they're going to figure out how to fix that. So, very good team on offense. You can see I don't have Beskar Mando here, and that's going to be for a different team, which we'll talk about here in a second. But yeah, this team's just really good on offense. Beats a lot of stuff on offense. Really, really good. There's no real reason to have them on defense. They just beat so many teams. Beat several Galactic Legends. Well, not several, but they can beat like Jedi Master Kenobi. They can beat Lord Vader teams. They're pretty good on offense. I would definitely keep them on offense for myself. I think most people are keeping them on offense as well. And then, of course, Darth Bane. Yeah, I mean, what do we need to say about Darth Bane at this point? Best conquest character in the game? Question mark. I know people like to say Ezra's better. I can see it. I can understand. I would say you can't go wrong with thinking either one's the best conquest character. They're both really, really good. You bring in a Relic 7 Sith ally next to him, that character dies off, and then Bane just gets supercharged more bonuses, his cooldowns get reset. At some point, I'm going to take him up to Relic 7. I'm busy working on raid teams right now, but yeah, this dude's going to go up to Relic 7 at some point. Just to get more damage on him, just be a little more powerful, but I'm doing pretty well with him in Relic 5 and eroding him right now. Then, of course, Reva and Inquisitors, very good on offense. You get that ability block at the start of the match with Grand Inquisitor and his first special. Reva taunts and just keeps coming back to life as she dies. You know, a lot of debuffs with this team. You're able to get the torture, the purge mechanic. Just really good turn meter on this. Lots of assists with Seven Sister to help keep this team going. Really good on offense. Can be good on defense as well, but this is one I like to say for offense just because I like to beat those, use this for any JMK teams I see on defense. Again, as I see more people throw JMK back on offense, this may be one I consider moving over to defense, but right now, still a lot of people that throw Master Kenobi on defense in Erodium. So this is one that still, to this day, is my go-to counter for Jedi Master Kenobi. Like, this is just what I use. Lord Vader works too, but I can save Lord Vader for something a little trickier, like Ahsoka, and I can use Inquisitors to beat Jedi Master Kenobi. And then Jedi Master Luke, not that great on defense. You know, we got some different defensive teams, but offense, power, especially with that Jedi Cal Datacron, which is going to go away after this week, or after the season. Yeah, very good. Man, really in need of a lifter. This is one he desperately needs, a Grand Arena lifter. And I don't even know who their Grand Arena lifter could be. But yeah, he's really fallen off in power. He struggles on defense, and his offensive capabilities are really reliant on Jedi Knight Cal. If you don't have Jedi Knight Cal, he struggles. And even then, Jedi Knight Cal is a pseudo-lifter, but it doesn't quite work with what you're looking for with Jedi Knight Cal, or looking for a Grand Arena lifter. Good on offense, terrible on defense, really could use a lifter. And then Baylan Skoll, this is another one. Yeah, this is another one on offense where if I had it, this would be my JMK counter because of his or the way he counters any non-GL Ahsoka on a team. Yeah, if I had this, I'd probably end up throwing my Inquisitors on defense, and I'd use Baylan as my dedicated JMK counter. Slowly working my way up there. You can see I'm starting to work towards Marok now. I've got my clones at Relic 7. I'm waiting on the 2 Jedi Vanguard to get them to Relic 5 so I can get Master Mace unlocked, and at that point, I'm going to go back and get Baylan unlocked. So probably a few months out from getting Baylan up to getting him unlocked. Well, we have to wait for his event to come back. So it may be half a year. We don't know when CG's going to release his event again. But yeah, very good on offense. Really, any team that has a non-GL Ahsoka on there. So JMK, some of those raid teams, when they had the Fulcrum Ahsoka, Datacron had Ahsoka in there and just got absolutely demolished by Baylan. Baylan's just really good on offense, can beat a lot of teams. He's got a lot of GL counters built into his kit. I feel like my eyes glaze over every time I look at his kit because it just keeps going and I can't quite understand everything he does. But I'm not too worried about that right now because I don't have him unlocked yet. But once I do, I'm going to have to sit down for like a weekend and try to figure out Baylan's kit and figure out how he's going to work. But yeah, very good on offense. Not really quite sure who I'm going to use in that 5th spot there. I just got Embo just so I could throw someone in there. But yeah, Hondo finds a nice home for this right now, though Hondo's probably going to get pulled for a pirate team eventually. But right now, Hondo works decently well as a mercenary here, and then Embo's just a mercenary. I just went and chose a different mercenary. There is a mercenary Datacron as well this season, so that mercenary Datacron, if you have the Huntercron, absolutely good on a, just absolutely broken on a Baylan Skoll team. But if you don't have that Huntercron, there's plenty of other good mercenary options for those Datacrons. Keep that in mind. And then we get to Mon Mothma, Luthen Rail. This is going to beat Lord Vader on defense this season. They are not intending this to work. They are going to nerf something. Hopefully they don't nerf the Rebel Fighter team, but they're going to change how the mechanics work for a Lord Vader team, so Mon Mothma can't do this. But even still, Mon Mothma is very good on offense with Luthen. The reason I don't have this for defense with Saw is that my Saw is gear 12. This is one I'm going to be using for offense just because I have a well-built Rebel Fighter team. I've got POW at Relic 7 because I'm one of those crazy people. You know, Luthen at 5, as you build up the Rebel Fighter team, they get better because of the leadership with Mon Mothma, which translates their bonuses to the whole team. Yeah, just really as you build up the whole team, they get better as a whole. Build up one character, the whole team gets better because they increase their mastery or their health, their offense, all their stats through that Mon Mothma lead. Just really good on offense, and you can get an infinite loop going with this, especially with the Datacron this season, where if you guys have seen my video on that, definitely go check that out. You can beat a Leia Organa team on defense with this. They just, yeah, that Datacron with Mon Mothma, which she gives 25% turn meter to the team with her basic. Anytime you give a buff to any Rebel fighter allies, they gain 10% turn meter. Everybody on this team is just throwing out buffs. See, you know, Katarn, Pal, Luthen, Mon Mothma. Rebel Scout on his own isn't, but you can score critical hits with him and get bonus turns, and that's really going to help drive the turn meter as well on this team. Just really, really good on offense, especially with that Datacron right now. Yeah, just really good on offense. If you have the Saw Gerrera version of this Datacron, really good on defense as well, but yeah, nothing more to say there. And then Sith Eternal Emperor with Wat Tambor. You know, struggles to find a place every season. You know, Sith Eternal Emperor desperately in need of a lifter, which, I mean, they gave him a lifter, and then that lifter turned out to be better than Sith Eternal Emperor, which always makes me laugh. But, yeah, you throw Emperor on offense, you throw in Wat Tambor. Wat Tambor puts the shield generator on Sith Eternal, and then Sith Eternal just keeps regenerating protection, and he can't die. If you run into those Jedi Master Luke teams where they got Basilisk Sean as the lead, and then Jedi Master Luke in there with Wat, you can throw Sith Eternal against it, but you have to be careful because basically you just want to throw it on basic auto. You do not want to kill the team around Luke, because if you do, you don't get stacking mastery with Sith Eternal Emperor as quickly, and that means he's not going to hit as hard, and eventually he's going to be able to punch through the bonus protection, through the Bassa lead, and the protection regeneration with Wat. That's one I always use on offense with that team. You just got to be careful about how you do it, but you know, even still, Sith Eternal Emperor on his own, he's healing that protection back every time, or every turn. He is getting a lot of ultimate pretty quickly. He can knock out several characters. He gets stacking mastery. He's good on offense. He's perfectly fine on offense. You get that healing protection and the taunt with Wat Tambor, or sorry, not the taunt, but just the protection regeneration. And Sith Eternal Emperor is just going to be a tank that just slowly whittles down the opposing team. Next up, we've got General Grievous with his droids, and this is specifically for the Separatist Datacron we have right now. With this Datacron, Grievous can assist on every turn. That does a lot of damage. I've seen this beat Leia Organa teams on defense, which is always a welcome surprise. You know, the Datacrons that suddenly get you a GL counter, those are nice to have, and this is one here. The Datacron for Grievous, I was a little poo-pooey on the Separatist Datacrons, and then I saw footage of Grievous with beating Leia with that Datacron. I was like, maybe I judged you a little too harshly there. But yeah, this one's really good. You do want to have Stap. There are some nice Omicrons with Stap to help kind of lift this team. I don't have Stap as a team I'm not going to really use right now because I just don't have the team built up. But I did want to shout it out because this is one that's going to get you some really good wins. Can be tricky on defense as well, but also really, really strong on offense. Definitely one to keep an eye on. And then we have the Lightspeed Bundle team here with Maul and Darkside Mandalorians. I bought the Lightspeed Bundle for the Darkside Mandos, got them all up and running. I took my Maul up from Gear 12 up to Relic 5, and threw at least one Zeta on him just for the lead, just to kind of get things going. Was it Bound by Hatred? Or no, sorry, it's Bound by Hatred that I threw the Zeta on. And I have this team built up. I did a video on this talking about how to mod and build up your Mandos. And also the nice thing here, no Omicrons needed on this team. Maul being one of the 2 Conquest characters out there that do not need Omicrons, the other one being Commander Ahsoka. And, you know, solid on offense, not going to be a world beater, but it's a solid B-tier offensive team. Very nice in cleanups against Galactic Legends if you need it. This is one that's pretty good. Maul gets a lot of bonus turns at the beginning of the fight. ISC and Gar Saxon assist a lot. You build up their offense, and they are just going to absolutely truck someone. You build up their tenacity as well, so they're not going to get dazed. And then, yeah, just kind of build up their damage too as you can with the primaries on those mods. And yeah, you're going to have 2 characters that are going to assist and deal a lot of damage. The lead with with Maul here, causes their attacks to deal true damage. So you want to go for offense builds on these characters. You don't want to go for crit chance and crit damage. You want to make Jango Fett your tanky character so that he can absorb the hits, and the Bounty Hunter's Resolve is bringing him back to life at least once, get that free revive. And then Canderous is just there to kind of drive turn meter and get a lot more hits in. And then we get to this team, and this team is interesting. So this is purely built around the Son of Starros Datacron right now. You throw that Beskar Mando lead in. The lead with that gives Scoundrels bonus turn meter. Sana Starros and her Datacron just really makes her powerful. You've got Han Solo, Chewbacca, and I throw young Han Solo in. Really, you can throw any solid Scoundrel into this team and make it work. The power really comes down to Sana Starros and what her Datacron is doing, and that Datacron is going to go away this season after the end of the season, but this is, yeah, Scoundrel allies causing target enemies to lose turn meter, which can't be resisted. Rebel or Scoundrel allies attack a target with target lock, they gain retribution, which we don't have going on here. And then you can also bring in Captain Han Solo to bring to get like a revive if like Han or Chewbacca die. Sana Starros, as well as she dies, she can be revived with Captain Han Solo. So you can bring that in, but then also you get the smugglers, you know, gaining stacks to retaliate. Light side ally starting with 25% bonus turn meter. You can also bring in something with smugglers where they gain bonus evasion. So, you know, there's good options there with that. So this is a very good team on offense. I think Zareth has done a video of the Mando-led team with Sana, just absolutely wrecking stuff in Grand Arena. Very good stuff there. Really like it. This is a team I'm going to try out on offense. We're going to see what we can get done with it. Then moving on, we've got Unaligned Force users on offense. This is really more for Rey if she has Ezra on the team. If you don't have Ezra on the team, you can take Starkiller off and do fine. I mean, but at this point, the Starkiller teams on defense aren't quite viable anymore. Though the Datacron with Sith and Stun can make the Starkiller team on defense work pretty well, because it can do a lot of weird stuff with Palpatine and make him even stronger and really mess with your team. So there is a place for Starkiller on defense with that Palpatine lead this season because of that Datacron, but you know, Rey and Ezra really are a nasty combination on defense, and that's where you want to bring in someone like Starkiller. Now, the other thing that we did for 3v3 with this was Seer, Terran, and Starkiller to beat Lord Vader teams on defense. And without that Apo Datacron here in a few seasons, that is absolutely going to hard counter Lord Vader on offense. But for 5v5, you know, we don't need to worry about that for Lord Vader because he's just not as strong in 5v5. Plenty of other strong counters out there for now. We'll see what gets changed in the future. But this may be one you have to go back and use for Lord Vader once they fix him and they buff him. Maybe that happens mid-season. We'll see what happens. But yeah, this is a team I'm going to say for offense. At the very least, beating Rey with Ezra. And then we have a couple different teams here. So like another Bane team this season with the Focus Datacron with Boba Fett, Sign of Jango. With Fennec, it turns into a Darth Bane type team. It's just these two characters, and they are just trucking damage, just absolutely dishing out damage, wrecking teams, very good on offense. Obviously, you can't throw the two of them on defense, but yeah, they were great in 3v3. I see no reason why they can't still be good in 5v5. Probably going to be a little bit tougher to beat teams in 5v5 just because you have more opponents, but with the way the Focus Datacron works with these two characters, going to absolutely do some damage in terms of offense in Grand Arena. The real power of this is obviously going to be inside of Territory Wars where Boba Fett has his Omicrons, but for now, on offense, I see no reason why this won't work pretty well in Grand Arena. And then finally, we have a couple solo teams here. Darth Sidious with his Datacron. Decent B-tier team, B-tier character with that Datacron. Can beat upwards the likes of Malgus, that you've really got to mod him for potency and everything. I've been messing around with potency and stuff here. I think, yeah, I had to move some mods around last night. I missed this lockout, but really, you throw a lot of potency on him, and you jack up this potency, and then that ties into his passive here, level 8. He gains max health equal to his potency percentage. You really want to focus on that potency, really get his max health increased, because with that, you can beat Malgus teams. Now, without that, you can still beat some decent other teams, but Malgus requires him to be able to really like focus on that potency and get that max health going. And then Wampa, I do want to give Wampa a nice little shout out here, especially this season, because We just had the Lightspeed bundles with Iden Versio and the Rebel Troopers, or wow, Rebel Troopers, Imperial Troopers. You know, people probably bought that Lightspeed bundle, they've got them going. Someone's probably going to throw that team on defense. Wampa just absolutely crushes Iden Versio on defense. So that is something to consider. Really good starting Omicron in general as well. Up to Erodium, I'm starting to finally see her fall off in Erodium because I'm not using her very often. I'm not using her more than I am using her inside of Erodium. So that is something to consider. Could be a good cleanup character if you really want to go that route, but the Omicron, really good for starting players. You're going to get some nice mileage out of this one. Always worth shouting out for an offensive character for both 3v3 and 5v5. Just really good. So both these two characters on their own, Sidious needs to be on his own, Wampa needs to be on her own. Both of them are going to get you some nice return in terms of offensive output. So really, that's going to wrap it up for me. I want to hear from you guys. Are there other teams you guys think I should consider for offensive lists? Let me know down below. Do you guys think I missed something? As always, if you guys have enjoyed this video, make sure that like button, subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys next time.